Good night, good night, good night. Welcome again to another episode of Fortress Fitness Lifestyle Podcast, right? And tonight we have a very, unique, special guest who have been in the health and fitness realm for a very long time. And to my opinion, personally, he's one of the best trainers in the country. And I mean, anybody can dispute me, that's fine. And I've been around and I know a lot of trainers, and he's proven himself, right? So, without further ado, I would bring on Mr. Dexter Simon.
Night Victor,
Yes.
night Victor, how you going?
I'm fine, my brother. I'm fine. Good to have you on my podcast. It's an honor.
Good to be here. Thanks
Yeah,
for
right.
having me.
Nice. So I would have introduced you a particular way, but I will want you to introduce yourself properly in the sense of I know your resume is so long.
Yeah,
It's best you say it. So
I
you
will
go ahead, my
condense
brother.
it.
Yeah, talk to me.
Yeah, so my background in health and fitness started from a tender age as a coach, a football coach, and then went on to doing powerlifting at national level, then bodybuilding at national level. Then I created a running club, so I did marathon running and stuff. Trained football teams. I was the trainer of semi-professional football teams and clubs, and I wanted more in terms of uh, reaching out and touch people on a personal level. And that's when I decided architect for many years, for over 28 years. I decided to make the switch out of architecture into fitness, which is my true love and passion. And at the age of 45, I decided to get back into it, into health and fitness and into competitions. So I competed and in men's physique, and in 2017, I achieved my pro card in Arnold Classic in Spain. Today, the only male athlete from the Caribbean to ever accomplish that.
Wow,
So I have
that's
a
a big
long,
thing.
yeah, the resume
Yeah,
is long.
yeah,
I've
yeah.
done 55 shows since then, 55 shows internationally, local, regional, and internationally. And over the past 8 years, I've created a platform at dextersimon.com, health and wellness. And I've serviced over, when I checked last week, 10,276 people from 25 different countries so far.
Wow, that's amazing, my brother. That's amazing. To I know you've been around in a while, but I didn't know you've done so much different discipline. Actually, you know,
Yes, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
there's a lot.
Yeah,
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 that's a lot. That's a lot
yes,
because I think you're one of
yes.
the few person I've
45 years.
yeah,
I've been in fitness for 45 years now.
yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. And I mean, I myself has been a while. It's been a while. I've been involved in a lot of stuff for a while, and I jumped into fitness as well a few years ago, right? A long time actually, but not as long as 45 years. You know what I mean? But that's great, my brother, and it's good to have you because one of the things that we lacking in this country, based on my journey, is lack of people. We are suffering from lack of knowledge, lack of know-how,
Yeah,
boy. And in this country, we believe that whenever you reach 40, it's to bring out the cane, it's to bring out the walking chair. That's
correct,
an old time myth. And I
correct.
often tell people, Dexter, is that you can't change, getting older, but you can change the way that you age with the life that you live, right? That's what I
Precisely.
normally, do, and I live my life like that. And I can tell by seeing you're in top shape, my brother. You're in top shape, right? And
Always,
you over,
always.
yeah, you're in
I
top
lead by
shape. So
example. I lead by example. So I always tell my
yeah.
clients, and my clients know that my life, my clients know, my kids know that my life is a sacrifice. I sacrifice a lot of things that people would always want to do because I know that I can't, because I have purpose. I have a real higher purpose to actually take care and be the shepherd for a lot of individuals.
Well, it's strange that you said that because you know, usually, I tell people I am my walking brand. So the life that I live, is a replica of how I want people to live and to look this with the
Yeah,
lifestyle. So just as yourself, we face this challenge in this country whereby when you make a decision to make health and fitness your lifestyle, there's a lot of what I say, there's a lot of challenge in the sense of especially with nutrition, because in this country, you don't have too much outlet, you can go and get a proper meal, especially the restaurant and them that
yeah,
don't you know, would support
Well,
us.
not again.
Oh
Not
yes,
again.
come to that,
Not
right?
again.
We come to that.
Just recently,
We come to that. We come to that.
Cafe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
5 and in 12 O'Connor Street in Woodbrook. So we cater to real health food, not just quote unquote health food, but proper dairy free, allergen free, lactose free. You understand? Proper health food that tastes real good.
Right, and as you said that there's a myth as well in this country particularly that eating healthy, apart from being expensive, it don't taste good. I told you heard that before, right? And I always tell people,
Yeah, we found that totally. That going through the window now we take 5.
right. So
Total.
so all right. So let's put it out there. So you have a healthy restaurant, yes?
Yeah.
All right.
A health bar and cafe. So
A health, yeah.
it's a restaurant. We also have coffee and the whole line. So you could come, you could have breakfast, you could have brunch, you could have lunch, you could have dinner. We do private events. We do functions. You can rent out. We have rooms that you can rent. People do workshops and people rent out for a month or two, like Rent a Wednesday, and we cater to them. And we also do private functions. So we go home and we do events and stuff like that. But real healthy, proper healthy. So our chef was, to me, the one of the best in the country. He took a lot of time listening to us with regards to what we wanted to deliver as real healthy, proper. So if you have any issues with, you need gluten-free stuff and you have allergies, you can walk in there and just say what you want, what you have, and you get in it. No mistakes. There are no mistakes or no ifs or we thought it didn't have this in it, and no. We catered, or we took months before we could finalize on all on the menu, especially with condiments and things that support it. And it's really taken off really nicely now.
Oh, that's good, my brother. I mean, and all the blessing to you on that venture. Give me the name again.
Take 5 Health Bar Cafe, number
And
12
that's
O'Connor Street in Woodbrook.
right. So people, always be asking me where you can go to get a healthy meal. You know where to go now, right? And
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
foreigners loved it for Carnival time. They was there like ram-packed,
yeah,
ram-packed. Yeah.
yeah, because they know healthy meals. They know healthy
Yeah.
meals,
Yeah,
right?
especially people from Europe and stuff, they're accustomed to more quality food, and the right portions and stuff.
Well,
We
Dexter,
work it on a daily basis.
the thing about it is that as you mentioned, the right portion and Europe, because we in this country for the last couple of years we shift our focus to the Western diet, which is
Yes.
very much unhealthy, as you know, right? We
Yes.
follow this
Very.
American style food with everything fast, right, and processed, and canola oil, everything to make you unhealthy and get you over obese, right?
Yeah.
We following the wrong thing, and every single day you see a different franchise opening in this country, and I speak about it because it's killing us out, right?
Yeah.
It's high diabetes, hypertension,
Yeah.
clogged arteries. That's what happening to our
Yeah.
people. I just go around the country, I could tell you, and
Yeah.
again, that's why I said earlier on, we seem to be suffering from lack of education when it comes to nutrition in this place.
It is knowledge because through my transformation, I mean, I have had a massive cross section of people from all different geographical locations, ethnicity, political persuasion, spiritual background. And the people who have passed through my transformation, including 120 doctors, have and are holding positions of authority that could make change. But it is such a stickler because we're talking about change that is going to hit the pockets of many. You understand? And not at a low level that I'm talking about, talking at a white collar level. And it's that fight against that one. It's the knowledge for people to understand that exercise and maintaining a specific diet should be non-negotiable, right? And it's really about starting the knowledge from in the schools because we have now an epidemic of obese children with type 2 diabetes, from early hypertension, all sorts of hormonal imbalances. Why? Because the parents don't have the knowledge to impart the proper quality dissemination of habits onto them. It starts from the parents, and it started from our parents. You understand? Our parents love you looking plump, and when you come home,
Yeah.
and all that kind of thing. And if your face is looking fully wrong with a big belly, you're unhealthy and you're looking good. And all that has to go. And let's go back to the Western society. I've traveled to 55 countries already. And in Europe, Spain and Italy and stuff is the most health. I've been to Italy and I was blown away. I saw one obese person and it was American. One. Why? Because their portion small. Their diet is mainly about fish. Even now, they have more sense now with knowledge now. Even the pizza and stuff, they have dairy-free pizza, dairy-free cheese.
Yes. That's true.
They understand what is required. And the portion's really good. Now, let's go to America and stuff. Las Vegas, I went to Las Vegas about 3 times. And once I went, the portion of fries, oh my God, the portion of fries could have feed at least 10 people or a small third world country. Easy.
Yeah.
You understand? And,
yeah,
and that is the thing. So we don't have the problem with the big portions in Trinidad, but the problem we have is the lack of knowledge of balancing it off. The non-negotiable item, which is exercise, because you can dabble. You can have a balanced diet. You can eat everything. You understand? I don't want to call names, but you can eat every fast food if you want. But you must have that balance of the predominant larger portion here, 7 days, with exercise and some sort of control.
Yes, and you're so correct, Dexter. 2 things I want to touch on is like, because I am a team as well, recognize that the obesity and the hypertension and the diabetes, the type 2 diabetes, starting very young, teenagers and things like that, and it's starting in school. So we had to try to target the primary school, the kindergarten, because as you rightfully said, the parents might be encouraging the children at that age. They don't know better. They take what the parents give them. But if at least we try to educate in school, exactly, that's my point. So I know right now the government has something in place where I think they ban all soft drink, but that's just a small drop in the bucket. Right. Exactly. So
they're gonna do nothing.
Correct. So we had to have
a soft drink is just a small part of the big puzzle.
Yes. Part. A very small part, and
very small part portion control. Then we have the amount of sugars that you can get from other things too. You understand? And I'll make a very bold statement to educate people, to make them understand that in the ingestion of sugars, right? And a spike in insulin level, it gives you that inability. It stops your ability to burn fat for up to 5 to 7 hours. So you can imagine, and it happens with fruit also. Even though fruit have fructose. But fruit will slow down this insulin spike because it has fiber in it. But it would still cause an insulin spike. So
of course.
En route, you ever saying that? En route to that ideal weight, you have to cut out all sugars. En route, when we do achieve it, then we can balance off and have what we want in moderation at certain times. You understand? And the smaller portion of the week also. And it's that control that I've been teaching my clients, thousands of clients, and they have been teaching their kids. And they are the fortunate ones who will have the ability to fix it from a generational standpoint.
Yeah. And I often say this to Dexter is that what we suffer in this country, I didn't touch base before, is a generational of bad eating habit passing down to the modern generation. That's the problem. It comes down. So you and I know you're correct. Our grandparents, like you see, we had a clear plate on a Sunday, and it's about 5 carbs because there's rice, potato salad, macaroni pie, macaroni salad, and this, and then the crystals small, so right.
And it's going across all ethnicities.
Yes, all
ethnicities. Your plate is mainly carbohydrates.
It's made, and that's the problem.
The key element that will cause you to keep up the amount of muscle that you need for good recovery, for balancing our hormones, for good bone density, for good sleep is protein. And that is the most underrated element in a plate in a Trinidad and a Caribbean person.
Yes, yeah, you're correct.
Full of carbs, full of rice,
full of pasta,
full of salad roti, full.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
But I'm not saying you can't have it, but you should have it when you're at a balance, when your health is now streamlined, when you have it under control, but you cannot be carrying a whole heap of visceral fat around your organs. You're overweight, you're obese, and having these things. You need to pull back, rectify the situation, and then live a balanced life.
And
that is what is not going to happen by just stopping soft drink.
No,
it's
not.
See the knowledge I gave you? That knowledge must be broken down to street level, even for highly educated people, because I have people with doctorates and PhDs and all that kind of thing that I have to break it down for. You understand? Because they get so accustomed to living a life a certain way without the thought process of why they're obese, why they're putting on weight, why they're promoting between weight loss and weight gain. They're not paying attention to it. So you have to break it down. So if I had to break this down for highly educated people, what's happened to the average person? You can just take away soft drink and feel that will solve this global problem that we have. That's just a trickle in it.
It's a small, and you're correct with the education, because I often say this, Dexter, is that, it's all about balance. Usually, and I'm sure you get this already, when people see people like yourself, and myself, guys get a lot, they ask what you eat. I say, listen, it's all about balance. You say about, it's about balance. Your bad habits can outweigh the good habits. And that's what making us up. That's basically
it. The 80-20 rule. 80% a week should be whole in phase of diet. 20%. I say you can go and live la vida loca.
Yeah.
But to get to that point,
you have to get to that point.
You name it, I eat.
Yes.
You understand? But I have a time to eat it, and then I pull back, and then I go straight to my protein, fish, chicken, whatever, with my veggies, because that is the equalizing factor. That is the part that gives you the longevity. That's the part of the investment and the deposits, that when you reach 75 and 80, you're not dependent on anybody. You understand? You don't have type 2 diabetes, and you're not ailing, and you're slipping, and you're falling in a bathroom, and you have glaucoma, and all of these things is sugar.
All is sugar, and it's all about sugar, all these carbs. It is sugar, I know.
Sugar in your eye is glaucoma. Sugar in your mouth is cavities. You understand? Sugar.
It's
sugar right through.
Yeah, all the arthritis they just talk about is sugar. Arthritis. Yes, you're correct. And again, I boil right back down to next education. You see where it come in handy?
It is education, and it cannot come from just taking soft drink out of the menu.
No.
You understand? It's a bigger conversation.
It's a bigger conversation.
Like myself, who could go from ministry to ministry, school to school. You understand? With the exact detail broken down in a simplified manner. So you're not going around with these big words and jargon and all these doctors.
Yes.
And it's not tiny into nothing proper. You understand? And people just getting bored because you can't break it down in a normal manner so they can understand what not to eat, how much to eat it, why it is they getting this pain, you understand? Chronic inflammation, why it is they constantly getting viruses and stuff. You have to break it down, simplify it. This is what you're supposed to eat. This is what you're not supposed to eat. This is how much you're supposed to eat. This is your portion. This is what you're supposed to do with exercise. Walking around the savannah is not exercise.
No, it's just now. Wait. Just now. Let me stop. Let me touch on that. Let me stay on this topic, because for some reason in this country, the mass majority of people feel that walking around the savannas is exercise.
It is not. Walking around the savannah is pleasure. For an older person, it is just partaking in activity that will not keep you dormant.
To keep you yes.
But if people understand from a technical point of view, to get up to burn fat, you have to get up to 60 to 70% of your maximum heart rate. You understand? There's no way you can walk and get up to that fat burning zone. You can't get up to the aerobic zone by walking like that. That's 60 to 70% here. You understand? There's no way. So I tell my clients, if you're going to walk around the savannah, it's better you still want to watch Netflix. Educating the population.
You know what I recognize, Dexter? You see what you're talking? I just talk like this. Nobody want to say the hard truth. Everybody want to pamper everything.
Around me, they know it's the hard truth again.
Right, because two things. The strength training is critical. You know that. Male and female is the most critical. Not walking around the savannah. Strength training is the most.
And it is becoming more apparent around the world. No,
yes,
that is becoming. That is the biggest topic. Two biggest.
It is.
Strength training and protein.
Yes.
That's the two biggest. You understand that strength training is what is going to give you longevity. It's going to stop the biomechanical functionality degradation. That's going to stop you. All the falls and then the broken limbs and the bone density dropping and all You understand?
Yes.
Strength training is going to keep that up. Strength training also balances your hormones. So all the cravings and all that thing goes from strength training. And then, of course, on the other spectrum, now protein. You understand?
Yes.
To build the muscle. And muscle
Mm-hmm.
is the organ of longevity.
Longevity. Yes. Yes.
A lot of
Yes.
people don't even know.
I
There's a
know.
direct correlation for in terms of determining lifelong living with your muscle size and your legs. So there's a direct correlation. You understand? The size of your legs, the strength of your legs is a determining factor for longevity.
Yes. 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 And most people don't know that because the first thing to go as you get older, if you're in
It's your
doing strength
legs.
training, is your
The
legs.
first thing
Yes.
Wales do is go in your legs.
Is
When
your
somebody
legs.
falls, you understand? You
Falls.
understand to hold on to the toilet seat to sit down. You
Yes.
understand? People
Yes.
don't know these little signs. I want people to understand is when you're starting to go down. When you start to hold on to a chair to sit down to brace yourself and the toilet bowl and that kind of thing. Trust me, that leg strength going already.
Yes.
And
they're
that is a
going.
determining factor to your age span, your lifespan.
Yes. Yes.
The only
Yes.
way to fix that is to put resistance against your muscle. So you have your muscle have reason. You have reason to recalibrate itself and get strong.
Yes.
And when
Yes.
your
Well
muscle
said.
have that reason in the environment of resistance training now, it forces your body to recruit from all different areas. And that is what causes your hormones to stay in balance. So people in menopause, perimenopause, menstrual cycle pain and stuff is people not doing resistance training. I have
Yes.
so many
Correct.
clients, women, between the age of 40 and 70. You understand? Who, when they get into a proper run of strength training, all the hot flashes, perimenopause, menopause, everything goes. People have
Yes.
menstrual cycle issues, zero. Resistance training.
Yes.
And
I mean,
keeping your
yeah.
protein at a certain level. Some people don't even understand what level. You understand? How much protein you should intake a day. What's the frequency? What's the difference between a macro and a micro? You understand? They need help. We need help. We need somebody
We
like
need.
me to get out there and educate the population. Need somebody like me to get out there and educate the doctors. Let me tell you, there's a very good place for nutritionists and dietitians. They're giving you a balanced meal, you're getting an accident, something wrong with you, you understand, you have to get back to good health, there's a place for them. But you see, when you talk about transforming a human, transforming the health, getting them back to square one, getting you back to how you was when you was 22 years old, that's a different ballgame.
Correct.
You have no balance in that. You can't
Yeah.
introduce fats and carbs and you can't. You cannot. And you have a portion of society who will dwell on that. You know why? Because it's easy. They want the easy way out. They want
Most
the
people.
best. They want
Most
the
people
best,
is out. Yeah.
a best diet. So give me choices now. And you understand, I always tell my clients, we in a transformation, we're not in an all-inclusive. We're not on a cruise ship. Once you achieve and you get the visceral fat around your stomach down, which is the most critical element, anybody carrying fat around the stomach, you're carrying malignancy. You're carrying long-term diseases. And when things happen to you later on in your life, people are like, wow, but I was eating so healthy and live.
Yeah.
Look at the stomach. Anytime you have fat around the girth of your stomach, it's malignancy and it don't happen on that day. Cancer you get when you're 60 happens since you're 13.
Correct.
You understand?
Correct.
The
Yes, my brother.
hypertension you get when you're in your 50s happening since you're 20-something. The
Yes.
type 2
Yes.
diabetes you get in your 40s happening since you're in your early 30s.
Yes. And that's why they call it lifestyle disease. I know it's strange. The world call it lifestyle disease. And nobody is stopping to say, wait now, if it's a lifestyle disease, what a change? Not a lifestyle?
You had to change your lifestyle.
Right.
But
And
I tell
then
you, but we live in a soft society, yeah?
soft. You and I know
thank
that.
God, recently, it started to shift because they was going to this, with is rewarding kids participation medals and
Yes.
shifted.
Yes.
That started to happen some years ago, and people put down their foot with that nonsense. You understand? Because what we is doing is bringing up a generation of soft to run. You understand?
Yes.
You
Yes.
can't be rewarded. There's a reason why it have 3 levels on a podium. Because
Yeah.
for second and third.
Yeah.
20
Yeah.
something people, but to make the children feel good, the soft ones. You understand? You give out 20 something medal. So what's the lesson being taught now as you grow up as an adult? Everybody should win.
Yeah.
Everybody doesn't win in life.
Everybody don't win.
Understand?
And everybody can't come first at the same time.
So you're
Right?
setting up these poor little
Yes.
children because
Yeah.
you're soft and you're not hard enough to tell them, listen to me. It have a first, second, and third. And after that, you fight to get there. You setting them
Yes.
up for failure. You setting
Yes.
them up for failure because when you go out in the real world, you understand, and you realize, wow, shit, wait now. You see, my primary school or my preschool or whatever was giving out all of these participation medals. They don't have this in the real world, you know. It's the top dog, and who's second is called out the first loser.
Yeah, yeah.
Whoever's, and then when they realize that oh, it's too much for them to handle, but thank God they stopped that nonsense that has stopped. You understand? But it still have parents out there who still promoting soft, and you can't promote soft with a child who is potentially going to do things that will cause them long-term health issues.
Correct,
They'll come
correct.
back and bite you as a parent.
And it start, my brother, as you rightfully said, and you know, it starts in the household. This thing starts in the home, you know, right?
Yes.
And
So that's
you
why
mentioned,
there's a two-tier approach.
right,
You have to educate the parents
and the children. And you mentioned something before, which is true, right? The Ministry of Education, right, as you mentioned earlier on, you know, there's certain these nutritionists maybe who, in schools, but as you rightfully said, and which I know just as yourself, those persons cannot really deliver the information as how you decided,
And
just
they
like
can get a
that.
nice
And
balanced diet, but ask
yeah,
them to put you on something that drop 20 pounds in a period of time now. They can't
yeah,
because there's hide and come into my transformations, you know. The same nutritionist and the dietitian for them to lose weight. And as we on that topic now, we need to address the fact that the topic of leaders. You understand what we have in society? You understand where we have a lot of people who lead in and they're not leading by example. You
well,
understand?
listen, my brother. I mean, if you watch some of my reels and videos, and I just say this, and I have no apology to say this, because one, you mentioned something before in this soft world now, using the word obese, you know that's something people like you can't say, you
Yeah,
can't
they
say
call
obese,
it body shaming.
body shaming,
Body
right?
shaming. You
They call it
understand?
body shaming now. Again, they have plus size clothes selling. So when you have
But
plus size clothes,
you know that failing, right? Because
it-
Victoria's Secret tried that and it failed.
yes, it must
totally
fail.
flopping because
It
are
must
people
fail.
realizing now that what they was calling body shaming now, it ain't body shaming. The responsibility and the onus on the individuals.
Correct.
So now
Correct.
people realize it's not body shaming again, no. It's you shaming yourself.
Yes.
Understand?
Yes.
You putting yourself out there with lack of delayed gratification, lack of discipline, lack of self-control, and now coining it as something that you thought would have run with. People ain't run with that.
Nah, nobody
People
run
run
with
with
that.
biggest beautiful thing, and the people ain't run with that, you know.
Nah,
And they
nah.
realize that carrying a set of comorbidities, that carrying going down to one place a disaster. They didn't run with that at all.
Yeah, but you see again, the if you're not educated, you run with that. People started run with that first, and they realize it ain't going nowhere. All I'm doing is crying in one place, right? And it's in the cemetery. That's the only place I'm carrying you. Nowhere else. And
And
then
one ticket,
one
now,
ticket.
I'll tell you, everybody gonna end up in the cemetery. But there's another.
I know. I know.
There's another thing that soft people will say. You understand? They say, well, why you
Yes.
so hard on all kind of thing? All of you going to end up in the same place. But here what I'm telling you, while I hear the existence I'm going to be quality and different to yours, though. You
Yes.
understand? While I
Yes.
hear, and I want to end up in the cemetery because of something that I have no control over.
Correct.
I get bumped from
Correct.
my car, plane crash, not because I have type 2 diabetes or malignancy.
and
Cancer. That is a total difference. So for those fools, as I would say, who try to coin this for healthy, disciplined people to feel bad, all of you going to end up in the same place, brother man. I can tell you, the 20-something years, between 60 and 80, my life could be different to yours. Because
Yes.
you be in the hospital, you be the doctor visiting all the time, sitting down by the doctor for 3 hours to wait for him. While me, I go be in movie town, relaxing, or by the pool, or by the beach. It's a different existence.
is that different
Nobody
because
can come around me with them nonsense. I
No.
put you down in quick time.
yeah. No, well, someone tried with me, and I said, listen, this is a big, but all that fitness thing and all that things, you know, we all going to that. I said, well, yeah. I said, but the difference is, I often say this, my brother. I say, listen, you have a business, right? Hear this, sir. For people who saying that, then I told him, I said, close down the business because we won't die anyhow. We running dollar down for. We're running dollar down for. That's the wrong way. You know that I said, you have a business. You're running 7 days a week. You're hustling. Why? So you coming at me for exercise and keep my body and my health in a certain way. But to comfort your conscience, to don't do the right thing, You telling me we're going to die anyhow. So I say, my brother here.
That's correct.
I say
And
here
you
we're
put it
going.
right there to come
No, I put it,
your
yes.
functions.
That's what they do. That's what they do.
You want to die anyhow. That's what it is.
Yes.
To comfort
So,
your functions.
my brother, I wish I say this. I tell people this. You can't change getting older, you know, but you can change the way you age with the life that you choose to live.
Yeah.
And you and I are two good examples. I have others you and I know, right? We stand out in the crowd because not because we special, you know. We special because we make a different decision a long time ago.
That's it. All it is a decision.
Is this a decision,
It's a
bro?
decision.
So when everybody's saying, what you heard it already, Dexter boy, I don't have time. You know, when I finish work 8 hours, and I go for the train, I know you heard that already, right? As I too often say this, I have a job, plus I do all that I'm doing with health and fitness. But you know what? I put myself, my body, right up there with everything else that I deem important.
Well,
so I put it in.
And you have to, and oftentimes you have to put it first.
Of course, I put it first. I don't play with that.
Any day it's a respect for yourself. It's if you love your maker, it's a love for him. He died to give us the chance to exist on this earth with this vessel, within this vessel. So it's if you love him, you need to take care of this. You understand?
Yes.
If you love your children, you need to take care too, because you are example to them. If you unhealthy and obese, what are your children seeing on a daily basis? You understand? So it's really about making a decision to be the best version of yourself.
That's it right there, my brother.
And it's only positives going to come out of that. I mean, it's a total no-brainer. Who wants to go to the doctor all the time? Who wants to have uncertainty with taking tests? And you're waiting for an answer, yea or nay. You understand? Who wants to be in discomfort, pain, back pain, and knee pain all hours of the night, daily? Who wants to be going to the beach? Big grown men going to the beach with a t-shirt on, playing carnival and thing with a t-shirt. Shame. The shame. Who wants to be like that? And you have the most amount of money, you understand, and you shame yourself. And I tell my clients plain straight off, we are adults. You people turning off the light in the night to have relations with the spouse.
Yes.
The shame of the physicality.
Yes.
You understand? So there's absolutely nobody can tell me that could convince me that all of we go in the same place at the same time. You understand? It's done.
No, that's
and
again.
Eventually reach there anyway.
Yeah.
My journey be a total journey, different journey to yours.
You know, as I say that, Dexter, so I know, and something I said I posted on social as well. What you mentioned, this body that we have is the vessel. What you not mentioned is true. I look at it as well as our only transport we have to carry us to the future. We have no other transport. We have this, right?
Yeah.
The same people we're talking about with the big jersey and the got all out there. When the month come and they had a vehicle, manufacturer tell them, hey, every 3 months, 5,000 kilometers, service the car, whatever. And now they're rigid to that. And there's no vehicle on this planet is more important than our own.
Than the vehicle that you have.
The vehicle I have, right?
And
so you're telling me, and they're not servicing that. Right? Nobody who have the gas engine will put diesel in it, right? But when you have this vessel that would more than a vehicle, you're eating all the nonsense, you're drinking all the nonsense, and then what I've seen in my own eyes, my brother, a guy who wearing medium shirt, went by extra large. No, he didn't get bigger, you know, but he got grow. So the medium can fit him, the medium be tight in the belly. So he take an extra large to cover his stomach instead of doing the best.
Yes.
And say, you know what? Let me change my life. Let me just try. The problem is people refuse to try, you know, right? Especially men. You see, men in this country.
Especially men.
Yes.
Especially men with egos.
Yes.
Men with egos. Don't want you to tell them they're unhealthy. You understand?
Yes.
And they come up walking around with a big stomach that should not be. And let me tell you something, it's a trend now. You understand? On social media.
I know.
Like men know who get divorced and separated and things. They're showing you the transformation 4 and 6 months after. So why you give your wife that body before? Why you have to wait until the divorce is that? And a lot of men don't even understand the background. You understand? That the spouse unhappy with them.
Yes.
My predominantly women I transform. My class is 90% women. And over the years, I mean, it's more than a handful. I could tell you that women will message me and tell me that they can't stand the sight of their husband. They can't have sexual relationships with them. When I finish this transformation, I go and divorce him. You understand? And men feel that they're okay. men feel that they okay with giving their wife that body, that when they get married to them, both of you looking nice and sexy, but you just feel it's okay to turn into this blooper, you understand, and you accept it. But they're not accepting it, you know. You're just playing along, you know.
No, well,
A
they
lot of
played
men
along.
don't understand that, you know. Women not accepting that, you know. They
Not
playing
again.
along, and when they get
Not
against
again.
the clause, they're gone, you know.
You know,
Your
and we have to
commitment is
understand.
very heavy to keep
Yeah.
them, because that might be the only element keeping them.
A little longer than they're supposed to stay.
Than this, correct. And
Right?
and I tell men that straight. And men have to like me because I give you the reality check.
It
You
is.
understand?
It
The
is.
men who don't like me, I don't care. You understand?
Hey. And
I
you see,
don't care. I really don't.
that's
My
you.
purpose is to carry a message. I am a conduit. You understand? It's not me saying it. It's coming from up above. I just the conduit, you know.
Yeah, but that's, and I with you just as the same way, my brother. I live for the higher power, and I also tell people. I could tell people just when you tell them, which I do, because you can watch me and see I just I walk and you walk and talk and you talk, just as you. So if I tell you you're fat, if I tell you you're obese, you need to do this, whether it's male or female, you can watch me and don't like me. You can watch me and say, well, he feels this. Which I pour you just get that as well. You feel is
The
this.
only thing I could tell is over the years, I learned to tell myself a little bit because my mouth wasn't easy. and with maturity comes reason.
Yes.
I know how to package it differently now. That's all. I just package it in a palatable manner. But my point is come across still. You understand?
It's important.
I'm not mixing words because you see, at the end of the day, we as leaders in this sphere and this part of society and life, we have a responsibility to do certain things. We have a responsibility. Just like physicians and doctors and stuff, they have our nurses and protective services. Everybody have their responsibility, and if that is your responsibility, you have to do that with unwavering focus.
Yes.
You can't allow people to shake your resolve. So if I know this is my responsibility to touch lives for them, to see the wrongs they've been doing, to motivate them, to get them better so that their spouse and their family could enjoy them for a longer time. I cannot mix words with feelings and feeling bad for people and care what you say, and I can't. I have no place.
No, and you can't do that, and that's why the mission I started a few years ago with this magazine and all the podcasts and everything else. I go to communities. It's to educate, This whole mission is to educate people. That's why people like yourself is so important. I get on the podcast and also on the magazine and everything else, because we are just a handful of us that really doing it the correct way, And I said that to say, there's a lot of trainers now popping up all over in Trinidad with big belly, right? So-called trainers, right? I have a pump. I personally, I just tell people, listen, I don't care how much certification you have. If you have a big belly, you can train nobody how to have a flat belly. I have a problem with that. I tell you that.
I have so many trainers that come to me. A certification ain't nothing. You get certified, your journey now start.
Yes.
You have to put a good 10 years experience on
Correct.
And I'll tell you something, they have so many gifted, special people out there who just waiting to meet the right person.
Yes.
Because I'll tell you, my clients, I believe, to me, are the best clients in the world. My clients fantastic. They're hardworking, they're dedicated, they focus, they're relentless. And all my clients came from the same place. Not being happy, being overweight, and it taught me something, that they have a lot of brilliant people out there just waiting. So I don't ever look down at nobody and look at that person and say, that person fat and wasteless or wasteful or no, because that person underneath potentially could be one of the strongest, most fittest, most kindest, most beautiful looking, full of confidence person if they get the right help.
The right help is the right help.
If they get the right help,
it's the right help, and that's what it is.
It's the right way. With somebody who will lead by example, not somebody who's just telling you to do things.
Yes,
not telling you to do things, and then they're looking a total different way.
Yeah. I don't recognize those. Sorry, I just say it on social media. Who vex laws? I don't recognize no personal trainer, no gym trainer, right? That obese or big and wearing sweaters to hide the big belly.
How could you tell somebody give it 10 more reps? stop snacking. Don't go in the fridge and eat when you're doing the very same thing.
Exactly. And we have plenty of that. Plenty. I often say this, yeah, boy. And it seems to be growing. Every gym that I go to, because I go to different gym to pop in here, do all thing here. And every gym that I go through is just these these chubby trainers. In my in the back, personal trainer, not just trainer, personal trainer. When I look at them, I was like, what are you really selling? What are you really selling? You understand?
I know when they're selling hopes and dreams. That's all.
Yeah, but they can't. You see, and that is why Dexter, because one of the people met me already and called certain trainers' name, who was be all over social media, female and male gallivanting themselves, right? Popular ones, they're popular, and they said, "Vic, I was there for 6 months, not I leave." I said, because those trainers they call, them as hype people, them just hype, them ain't really, them is just crowd influencers, but it's not personal trainers. And there's a couple of them, right? And I say, well, if you want, yes, I've got a few of those. And I often say this, Dex, I have never seen a fat skeleton. If you have, tell me.
Yeah. All that nonsense about big bone and all that kind of
well, I'm glad I mentioned that, right?
Yeah, and thick and all that kind of nonsense. Packaging it. I tell my clients straight, and my clients love me for that, because I tell you straight, they could depend on my honesty. They could
and that is important.
My honesty. I tell you, I'm not like that. You're fat.
Yes.
You understand? And I'm not saying fat in a manner
discriminating way. Yeah. Yes.
Fat in the terminology, because you have muscle, you have water, you have skeleton, you have tissues, and you have fat.
Yes.
So you have too much fat. Your body fat percentage is too high. I'm not saying it in any derogative manner. I'm just stating scientific words and I'm using the jargon properly. If you're muscular, you're muscular. If your body fat percentage too high, then you have too much fat.
Simple as that.
Straight case.
Yeah, that's simple straight case. That's true.
And we want to get down the fat. I tell my clients we have real, candid conversations. We want to focus on getting down the body fat, and this is how we're going to do it. And we have the weighings every week and check your diet and make sure that you're progressing good. You got hiccups, and then we have conversations and we have workshops, and we're going along together, along the road together. And when you reach to that weight now, and they say, Dexter, at my goal weight now, I tell you, send me a pit in your stomach. And I'm still seeing some fat around your stomach. I say, okay, well, that look like about 7 pounds again. You're almost there. Let me just get rid of that, because now, past the physical look, you're looking decent. We thinking about the health. No, we think about longevity. So that fat you still have around your stomach, still coating your organs. It could still be carrying malignancy. You could still get sickness propping up. Let me take care of that. So it's a total different approach. It's a total depth of conversation and knowledge they don't have. They don't even want to learn it. Because it's a lot of time invested in people.
It takes a lot of time.
It takes time to invest. My clients always tell me, how do you just do it? And you don't have 15 or 20, you don't even have 50 clients like some people, or 40. It's thousands. When I have a group, there's 150 something people in a group that doing a program.
Yes.
But you have the responsibility, and like I say, when you have this responsibility that you're vested with certain things in life, like our party, like people, I can't be out late, like people, I can't, certain things that I know I cannot do. But they want to mix and match it now, and what you're doing now is you're watering down the service to your clients. You understand? You're not the best version of yourself, and the person who's not the best version of yourself could never be the best version for anybody.
Correct. Well said.
Never.
Well said.
Yourself, your discipline, your delayed gratification, your ability to do without, your ability to not do things that other people could do, because you know you have a bigger pity and responsibility. If you can't master yourself, how the hell you can be the shepherd for people? You can't be.
And that is one of the problems we have in this fitness realm in this country, with personal trainers, with trainers in the whole, because they're more encouraged, and I can say this because I know a couple of them, the more encouraged their clients. I have nothing wrong party, I'm not against anything, but it's a balance. But it's not to train people for 3 months. I tell people this: the men and women Dex, you see, for those who is come for January, for February, and I know you have a whole set of them.
Oh yeah.
For Carnival, right? Those
I call it the silly season.
Right, and you and I know they get no results. I often tell certain people come back, I see the men and the women you see in Carnival looking real good. None of which doing it in 2 or 3 months. They're doing it year go, year come. Right?
You have to hold it.
You have to hold it. the order to get result,
together.
you have to hold it. You have to hold it. And if you hold, and holding is not in the gym alone, it's actually in the kitchen. It's
Well,
not in the gym alone.
99% is in the kitchen.
It's in the kitchen and lifestyle because, as you rightfully said, people just ask me, Vic, but what you really just eat? I make that sacrifice years ago, and the result is there. So, you and I know if you go to a normal restaurant, apart from your restaurant, right? Any of the popular ones out there, we don't have much option, bro.
Yeah, you can.
I telling you,
3-4 pounds overweight because
I telling you,
amount of sodium and calories in one meal.
Bro, it have nothing.
Yeah, people don't care about that.
They don't care about that. If you go one, with your co-workers, many times I go co-workers are lying where after work they say, I telling you, it is the more I do. Is either I get piece of fish and some vegetable and even that full of salt. Many times if it's too salty, I leave it because I could be. I rather stay hungry.
With butter and all that kind of stuff.
Bro, I can't get a big potato because they put all kind of cheese and oil and all kind of thing. And I said, nah, it's okay. So when you say that business that you had there, I didn't know before. And we will, whatever I can do to help push it because there's a few people like us, and sometimes when I go to look for something to eat, it's hard, very hard.
Well, right now we're very well patronized right now because people understanding that you can have real healthy proper food with fantastic amazing taste, and that is that's the signature that we want to deliver. You understand? Food that you thought would taste like cardboard, you understand? It tasting fantastic, so you can afford to come and partake into something that's very tasty that might hit that palate in the right manner and not leave you strapped with 5 and 6 extra pounds because the sodium levels was too high and the sugars in it and the calories was too high, and that's unnecessary. Because what we're doing there is we avoiding people from having the pleasures of life to eating good foods without that kind of negative at the end of it. You must be able to, and what we promote is healthy living, sustainable living, longevity, and enjoying your life. And that's what we want to. Your transformation, when you come to me, it is to get yourself back in line to enjoy your life. To enjoy your life. It is not a crisis and a diet and hammering for the rest of your life. You get to a point where you achieve, you accomplish it, and then after that, you live life la vida loca. And
well, we was designed
that we have to put the pin in. You understand? For people in the health and fitness industry, get to that point, and then there are certain non-negotiable items to maintain it. So you don't be running down Carnival and running down, going down the islands and running down a wedding. You don't have to be doing that. That should be within reach. 3-4 nights, and you pull that back. You tighten up the water. You understand? You make your cardio, you tighten up the diet and pull that back. Quick time. As a professional bodybuilder, they told us they want us within 14 days of a photo shoot of a magazine cover of anything. We have to be within 14 days. So it's just habitual for us to keep it to be in shape. Because at any point in time, if an opportunity come up for a new sponsor or cover page or anything, they want us to be ready in 14 days. So if you want to be ready in 14 days, you can't be too far departed. And it gives you that sense of pride to
consciousness
all the time. And of course, it saves money because health and going to the doctor and all these medical facilities and is a load amount of money that you could have, instead of be making these big lump sum payments because you didn't take care of yourself, spread it across in nice small payments every month and keep yourself healthy.
And that is the knowledge that I was talking about, because you tell me how much people you know, and doctors and those physicians have their purpose in life. I don't bash them, but tell me which doctor will this give you actually a medicine, a tablet to cure.
No, they can't do that. They can't do that. Some of them try to go out of the realm and help you by getting more knowledge and fitness, but they don't know about that. They just alleviating pain and they holding you on for as long as you can and try to fix it, hoping. Now you ever notice with most medication that meant to fix something, the kind of side effects it have?
Yes. Most side effects than the cure.
Pain from a tongue, but potentially I can have kidney failure, lung failure, I can have this and disease spells. All of that coming with it just to get the pain from the tongue. So you're not fixing nothing because potentially you could be creating another problem. And people living in that loop. They're trying to fix. How many people go to doctors to fix one thing and end up having so much other issues because they're not fixing the root problem. The root problem is you go back to basics with the right foods and get exercise in a regime, good water,
That's it.
sleep, take your vitamins, you're stretching and stuff, and that's gonna fix the root problem. Not gonna open you up to other problems. And this is the education that we have to get out to the children, get out to the
Yes,
students,
yes.
get out to the people that if you go back to basics, you understand,
Yes.
and monitor the children when they're young, keep them away from certain types of snacks, allow them to grow through the maturation period.
Yes,
You understand?
yes.
From 13 to 18, where the body now after they can make choices. Because a lot of parents not doing that, and from the time you reach 6 to 13, they're mashing up your metabolism.
Yes,
You
yes,
understand?
yes.
You get so
yes.
big and fat now you can't pull it back. You
Nah,
understand?
yeah.
And people telling they go grow it out, and some children grow it out, yes, because they have more heightened sense of activity. They're playing more and they get into sports, they go grow it out. But you have children that's more sedentary and they're not doing that, and they didn't grow it out, they're growing it in. You understand? By the time they reach 35 and 25 and 30, they're 300 pounds plus.
Yes,
You understand?
yes.
So it's
Yes.
a whole education. It's a whole
It is,
education.
and the government had to get involved in this because it's bigger than what you and I
try all
can.
the time, but I try all the time, and it's
I
like
know.
they just don't want to solve it.
No,
They just
well,
don't wanna, and it's easy to solve.
well, easy to solve, but there's a bigger picture there, my brother. Right? There's a bigger picture there, not just in Trinidad. It's a business, Keeping
Yeah, I
people
know,
sick
I
is
know,
a business,
I know that,
right?
I know that.
So because
Somebody had to come with the cojones, you see. Somebody
Right.
had to come. It's
Right.
gonna have
So-
one person, you understand,
Somebody.
that come with the cojones to stand
yeah,
up.
you're right. So the people, even in the states and those places, and you would know because you travel a lot. There are always people like yourself, me, and other people pushing, right? And it's always take one person who up in a position to say, you know what, crack that door a bit because it get out of hand. You understand? Outside of that, we just had to go in little pockets and do what we're doing and hoping that hey, we could save some. And I just tell people I am on a life saving mission, and just as yourself, this is not
Yeah,
about
but that's my purpose.
yeah,
That's
it's
what I
life
keep
saving.
myself in check for, because
Hey.
I'm responsible for saving lives. That I
Yeah.
understand my responsibility.
Mm.
I understand my assignment,
Ah,
I
yeah.
understand my assignment. You
Yes.
understand? And that's why I take it in such a serious, unwavering kind of way. I understand my assignment. I can do
What-
certain things that everybody could do. I know that.
Yeah. And once you know that, and once you believe that, and I tell people I have a purpose, and I know my purpose in life. I am not wavering. I know what it is, and what it is to help people the way that I'm doing it, because I lost family members, including my mother, based on lifestyle disease. And I know, my brother,
Yeah.
I know. And every household in this country,
It's
every household lost somebody or two to lifestyle disease. Every household.
And unnecessarily,
Unnecessary. You're
It could have
correct.
been avoided, and that's been
Oh,
fact.
yes. Yes.
Unnecessarily. You understand? Could have totally been avoided.
It
Just
could
by
have-
small little adjustments.
Ah,
Small little adjustments.
Small
Just a little
adjustment.
delayed gratification.
Yes.
Just a little discomfort until it becomes
Yes.
comfortable. That's
yes.
all. I have
Correct.
my clients going through a program called Renew now. It's about 125 adults from about probably 15 different countries. And I'm talking about high-level adults. I mean, CEOs and businessmen and judges and attorneys
Yeah.
and doctors and that kind of thing. You understand? And I say, why I say that? Of course, you have the full spectrum, right? I have nurses
Yeah.
and teachers and doctors and people
Everybody, yeah,
in the
yeah.
arms. The full spectrum. Because it have people, regardless, I'd say, political persuasion, ethnicity, geographical location, who want better for themselves.
Correct.
So what they're going through now, Renew, is something now to control cravings, because that is one of the most vibrant, most
Yes.
overwhelming things. You don't even understand if you're hungry, and it is just you're just allowing emotions and things to take. And I'll give the listening public a little cue, you understand, for you to really understand if you're not, because most of the times it's dehydration. Just drink a cup of water, or think of this. Here, this piece of knowledge I'm going to give people. When you start to feel hungry, think of the type of food you're feeling for. You know, if you have a protein source, piece of chicken or fish or something like that, you understand, it is going to keep you satiated and it's going to quell your hunger. Ask yourself, is that something I want? And if you could say yes and go to that, you're genuinely hungry. But if on the other hand, you start to think about sweets and chocolate and snacks and stuff, and that is where you're gravitating to, your cravings overwhelming you.
Your craving is
And
not
that's
well.
easy to know. You understand? Because anybody who really hungry, you understand, will take the bland food, will take the chicken, will take it if you're genuinely hungry. From the time you start to skin up your face and say a 9 feeling for that, I understand you're not hungry, you're just greedy.
Greedy.
You're greedy and you're out of timing because you don't have the delayed gratification. You just want to eat from the time you feel any sort of drop in your resolve. And that's when you drink a glass of water and wait 5 minutes, you will see how that can subside.
Yes, correct.
Just wait.
Correct.
Just drink a glass of water and wait 5 minutes. That feeling goes, think about something more purposeful. And that's how we easily know if you're hungry for purpose or if you're just there because your body emotionally under pressure or whatever and you just want to eat. And then you make an honest decision.
Yeah. And most people, you correct, the cravings and bad habits they run into, right? Because
nobody with cravings who just genuinely hungry would not eat a piece of chicken.
Yes.
If you're genuinely hungry, you're eating anything, cardboard,
Yeah.
Skin up your face for the chicken or the fish, understand that they're not hungry.
Yes, you're not hungry.
You're not hungry. You're playing the fool. You understand? You're looking for exit clause. You're looking to name it something else. What you really want is the sweet bread or the chocolate cake or the ice cream. That's what you really want. But you're not honest enough to say that. And I'll give you the options there where you can have the conversation with yourself. And let me see you get out of that with your conscience. Let me see you get out of that with your conscience with that piece of information I give you.
Yeah, because what they do next, as I said earlier on, they say things to satisfy the bad habit, That's what they do.
You're convincing yourself, and a lot of
people convince
themselves for years. You understand that how they're feeling and what they're doing is a result of just are hungry and I need to eat something, but something you need to eat is not what you should be eating, and that is what they gravitate into.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something, whoever you are, that is why you're overweight, and that is why you're in a cycle, taking off 30 pounds and regaining it, because you're not getting your resolve strong. You're not getting that self-control. You're not having an honest conversation with yourself.
With yourself, yeah. And
the conversation not honest.
Yeah, the conversation, as I often say, Dex, if like what you mentioned there, which means you had to change your relationship with food, yourself and food. You had to change your relationship
because often yourself and food.
Yeah. Yes. Right. But you know what it is? You know what it is, Dex? We in this whole relationship, right? Man and woman. You're quick to get with any man. You're quick to get with any woman because you like how she treating you, or you like how we treating you. But food and treating you good because they're obese. But they ain't changing that relationship. Yeah? You ain't divorcing food or bad habit. You don't divorce that. Right? So you see? So again, that what is often say, change your relationship. It goes to the same, finances, anything.
Yeah.
If it didn't work out for you, change your relationships. Say, you know what? I don't like how I'm looking. I don't like how my bill, the month, whatever. I'm going to change how I spend, how I deal with this. With food, say I'm obese. Instead of people trying to lose the weight to fit in the pants that they used to wear before, they rather go up 2 size length.
Buy a big pants. I have a problem with that with the protective services. They should have a limit on uniform size. And I say it before and I say it again. They should have a limit on uniform size. Because I don't know how somebody 250 pounds running down and protecting anybody. You understand?
Well, listen, I did some work with them last year. Right? I reached as far as in the kitchen. Right? Because the superintendent said, boy, when they recruits training, they fit their waist probably a size 29, 28, 30. As soon as they pass out, about 6 months after, just what you mentioned there. So he said, how? I said, it's not that. If or let it change, first of all, start in the kitchen. But I ask them what they eat, what they're eating. They're eating just what we're talking about here. So why is they doing a lot of training in the academy? Because they're active, so it ain't go show up. But after the academy, they say their job is 99%, so they're not gonna have a vehicle all day. And what are they eating?
But the thing is that I don't blame them, the people in the protective services. I don't blame them, because it's the higher powers, the people in the protective services with certain positions. You understand, who are responsible for the physical elements, who should be leading them better. I don't blame them because again, knowledge is key. You could be hungry and you could be buying something fast food, and it depends on what you buy. You
What
can
you
buy
buy?
some. You can, if not as bad as it's fried, you can buy fried chicken or fried fish and just have that protein alone and come out
Yes,
unscathed rather than adding
yes.
the carbs with it, the bread and
Carbs,
the
you put
rice
the
and if
potato.
you just get a little
Ah,
insight,
yes, yes,
and every time they're out on patrol and they're hungry, you understand? You're running for fast food, but you only had the protein. That will keep
yes,
them. That will keep
yes.
them from gaining weight, keep them satiated.
Of
You know,
course,
but
of
they
course.
don't have anybody to help
Tell,
them with that. They don't have
yeah.
nobody to help them with as feed sorry
And,
because they're really because let me tell you, the protective services they're moving with a heavy leverage already. You
yeah,
understand? A heavy burden. I don't know how they just make it. It's a heavy
yeah.
burden. You're dealing with crime and all these kind of stuff. They understand
No,
that you're
it's
right on the
stressful.
line.
It's stressful.
You
It's a highly
understand?
stressful job too.
It's highly stressful.
Yeah, it's highly
And on
stressful.
top of that, now you had to fight them when it's time to eat. You had to run in and see them running in KFC and potting. Sometimes they out on a call. Sometimes they out on a mission and they had to scramble to get things to eat. And
Yeah, yeah,
come on, they had to help them too. You can't have them
yes.
under that kind of pressure.
Yeah,
Educate them,
yeah.
provide certain
Yeah.
meals, send them in the right direction. You understand? Come on, man. They can't have them under the higher powers. Have them under that kind of because if you look at the top, in most cases,
They're all right.
them obese.
Yeah.
So how they gonna lead the troops?
They're not
How
this.
they gonna educate them?
And you know, last year I did a couple stuff for them, and you know, and I had a bigger appreciation for them after I listened to the things that they're saying. And I didn't know, Dexter, that they had a. I personally lived in Detroit all my life. I didn't know they had a hospital in the barracks for police. I had only know. I've been honest with you, right? And while I was there too, they reach out to me based on the wellness and the fitness and all of that, to realize that the police dying out young in the 40s, in the 50s, cancer eating them out. I tell you that. I was in the barracks about 3 times and a couple, symposium in traffic branch and whatever. Cancer killing them out way before they retire, way everything because after recruit and they come out 19, 20, 21, 22. It's bad habit, bad eating habit until about 30, 40, man. So you can imagine that. You ain't gonna make it, bro.
You remember what I tell you? The cancer they get in the 50s, starting in the 20s.
Right.
The good,
Yes.
and people don't understand how critical this is. You see that stomach fat, the malignancy, the deep-seated fat that they call visceral fat that's coating your organ. This causes the cancer and the malignancy, and that just there getting more and more malignant over the years, and then it propping up. You understand? Yeah, colon cancer, yeah, prostate cancer, yeah, it's just gonna prop up. You understand? And that's what happened with them. Without trying to reverse it, you just get rid of that fat around your stomach. Anybody, you just focus on getting rid of that fat around your stomach. You don't put 20 years onto your life. Easy.
Simple as that. That's simple as that.
Simple as that. Just get rid of the fat because that fat bringing low immunity. You understand? You're having metabolic syndrome diseases. You're having cancer diseases. You're having hypertension with that. You're having dehydration with that. You're having overweight and back pain because your chassis made to carry a certain weight. You understand?
Correct.
And when you have that pull, you understand, in front here, it putting pressure on your posterior chain. So your whole stomach pushing you forward there, your back you constantly have back pain. You understand? Just from that gravity pull with a heavy stomach. A lot of people walking around with back pain and they don't even understand. Clean up the front there, you understand? And get your posterior back up, proper alignment, you're biomechanically, structurally sound, and you're not putting no pressure on that lower posterior chain.
Yeah, so bro, that knowledge.
You need somebody to tell them. And they're not allowing the people who could tell them to tell them.
That is the problem. And this country too much tied up in politics and more and less care about the people. And I mean
that's supposed to know, but they're telling you it's a difference between a dietitian and nutritionist and somebody who have the knowledge over the years to actually give a proper transformational program. A transformational program is a holistic health and wellness program.
Of course,
it's just on food. You have to be educated on periodization, on meals, on nutrition, on sleep, on discipline, on exercise, on diet. And you have to be educated on all them aspects.
Yeah, and that is what we're not having.
Count on my hand, probably in the country who could do that.
Yeah, and you're correct. You're correct. And we have more the personnel who just have on the hat but don't have the knowledge,
No, you don't. There's a
right?
difference, and they don't come to
Is that
terms with that.
difference?
They don't come to
Yes.
terms with
That
that.
come to
You
yes.
understand?
That's what going on
in
here.
terms with what we have as a nutritionists, and they can't do it. That is not their wheelhouse. That is not
Yeah.
their wheelhouse. They just can't. There's a
Yeah.
different type of package. There's a different type of knowledge. You understand? That is not their wheelhouse.
Yeah, and that is what we lacking
Understand?
today, my brother. But I believe that, you know, people like yourself and others, the few that I believe doing a great job, is you'll have clients in the world and a few in Trinidad here, but it's just who come to you now. So that's why what you're saying there,
Correct.
it's bigger than just that.
You're spot on. I've never once gone out and asked somebody to do my program. Never.
Yeah,
It's people who come into me.
exactly.
People who come into me.
Right.
I work by reference. It's like
Right.
I study the buildings, the design and stuff.
And-
Advertisement.
And as much as you have all those clients, it's still a dot in the bucket compared to the masses
Dot.
who need it. A dot, my brother. You understand?
To get any help to get out there to reach people. That's why I'm thankful for you inviting me on this program. Any help to get out there to reach and save souls, to save people who would not put their family members and their children in unnecessary grief, because that's what you do as parents when you don't take care of yourself and you're going too soon. You're putting your children under unnecessary grief and pain that could have been avoided.
And I often say this, Dex, the best gift you can give your children is to live healthy and long. That's the best gift. Best gift.
Is your wealth.
Right? Is your wealth, is it health, your wealth, right? Because you and I know a lot of wealthy people, not in Trinidad, let me forget Trinidad for the while, right? Even Appleman, he left something behind saying, all the money he had couldn't stop him from imminent death.
Yeah, couldn't prevent him from going
Right.
where he didn't want to go.
He didn't want to go.
Yeah. He didn't
Right?
want to go, but he couldn't
And he had billions, Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
He had billions. And
Yeah.
yet still I keep telling people, you run down this mighty dollar. And I'm saying nothing wrong with, you're aspiring to be most that it can be, and that's fine. But you can't neglect your health for that. Because
and let me tell you something. I always tell my clients, you can have it all.
yes, you can.
Just have
You
to
can.
balance yourself, just apportion it.
That's
You
what
can
it
have
is.
it all. Make sure you accomplish one thing first, which is going to be the sales. Sales on your boat carrier is your physicality and your health. Once you get that in order, you get in everything else.
Everything after that.
Because once this breakdown, I had a doctor once, and I told her, I say, you need to sort out yourself. I have a program him, and she called me. She said, but I can't do the program now because I have too much clients and too much, you understand, to deal with. And I said, I had a nice conversation with her, enough that I could, speak to her in a certain manner. And I call her name, I say, I just hope, for God's sake, that you do something going to end up happening to you. And the same clients that you're trying to save, you can't save them because they didn't save yourself. I didn't hear from her for about 2-3 months, and then she called me back and said, Dex, I need to do a program now. I said, what happened? She said, I had a heart attack.
Whoa.
I said, see what I told you? So now we're in a situation now. I said, so I ask her straight, because I love to put them under the gun at that point in time. I'm unforgiving with that, because I want the message to stick.
Yeah,
I said, where clients now? You're going to help them? I said, I can't help them. I said, this is what I was telling you 3 months ago. If you don't have yourself in order, then your children, your spouse, the clients, everything, you cannot achieve it, accomplish it, help it. You cannot grow it. You cannot separate yourself from it. You cannot do anything. This is a reason why I'm not playing when they tell you when the plane gets into turbulence or anything, the oxygen mask fall, put it on yourself first before you assist anybody else.
Yeah, and the thing about this, Dex, is that as I mentioned that with the doctor, I always tell people, and I should, I post a lot of reel out there. When you're healthy, you have about 1,000 problems, right?
Boy, oh boy, I know that. And when you're sick, that's the only one.
Right? So nothing else matters. Nothing else. And all that ties into your children, as you know mentioned there, because even your children now, if you're wealthy and you have 5 children, and give each of them $1 million, and you as a father or mother, a good father, a good mother, They will take each of them children will take that million to try to get you healthy to keep you alive. You know?
Of course, I'm spending every cent to try to keep that
Right.
young mommy
So
alive.
so who really win? You understand?
Correct.
All the sacrifice
Correct.
it go in somebody else's pocket when really and truly to adjust your lifestyle when coming to your health. It's not expensive, but people keep saying it,
Yeah.
right? People keep saying, "Oh, what?
It's not,
No."
there's another fictitious lie.
Yes, you know that.
People
Yes,
to make people
yes,
who on the cusp of making a good decision
yes,
make one a bit more expensive.
yes, yes.
What's more cheaper to buy a big chicken, a whole chicken, cut it up in small parts, and buy a bunch of carrot? You can get anything cheaper. You ever buy a 3-piece at any one of them fast food with fries and thing? How much that cost?
Yeah. There's a whole chicken. Yeah.
One big chicken, a whole
Yeah.
big carrot that could give about 8 meals. You understand? Compared to that 3-piece with the fries and the biscuit or whatever, coleslaw, that probably costing the same. It's
Yeah.
Again, the same thing that they
Education.
want to put out there to ease the self,
Yes,
ease the conscience
yes,
into
yes,
making the wrong decisions.
yes. That's what it is,
And
my
then
brother. That's what it
they
is.
have people who foolishly believe it. They believe the talk, so it now becomes this mission statement. The right thing to say, how dieting thing expensive, dieting thing is so expensive, and it is not. It is a lot more cheaper.
It is a lot more cheaper. You're correct.
What it is, it's harder. It's harder. And they don't want to face the fact that they need to just man up a little bit. You understand? And do the harder things which will give you the better. There's nothing you can do that is worthwhile, that is not going to be difficult. Or
Yes.
else everybody will be healthy in the world, walking around their best physique with a flat stomach. Everybody. It is difficult for a reason, because it is special.
Everything is difficult. Everything
It's
of
difficult for a
substance.
reason because it's special.
Yeah,
It's difficult
it's
for a reason
special.
because it is valuable. Your health.
Is variable and special. And again, there's an uphill climb for people like us, and we have to continue to do what we're doing, Dexter. And as I said,
I relentless.
I know that, and I know that we don't
There's
stop.
too much
And
beautiful people out there in sheep's clothing right now. Too much beautiful people.
yes,
You
yes,
understand? That
we'll
could
get
just
them.
uncover, release themselves, and they will see the beauty.
We'll get them one step at a time, my brother. And
Yeah.
I
If I take my last drip of blood, I'm going down and I'm saving as much as
what I going down myself, my brother, and I'm doing it my way, and also working on some certain physical, spiritual.
Yes.
Yeah,
That
it
is
ties in.
extremely important.
It's mind, body, and soul, right? That's important. So you can't be successful or achieve where you want to achieve without all, right?
Yeah.
It's because you have to be spiritual, and if your mind is not where it's supposed to be, you can't achieve the body. You for sure know that, right?
Yeah.
So there's some seminars I'm working on, and once everything work out, obviously I will reach out to you to be a speaker, because that's the kind of people like you who real, you are the kind of people that I need on this journey, and I think we need each other based on what we do,
Definitely.
right? So
Anytime
this
you
platform,
I am
right.
ready for you.
so you'll hear from me soon, right? You'll hear from me soon this week. I've been up and down, east, west, north, south, but I'm definitely going to come down in the restaurant and have myself a meal. I can promise
Yes.
you that. And
Yes.
big it up one time when I'm
On the
there.
street, Woodbrook, take 5.
You're right. So Dex, what we're going to do, we'll touch base again. I know we have other stuff to do, coming up with the magazine and other stuff. And
Yes.
we'll keep in touch. Thanks for coming. Thanks for making the time.
It
And
has
continue
been a
to do
pleasure.
continue to do the wonderful job you've been doing, saving life. And I like the idea, what you said, your hashtag, a life-saving expedition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to say we're saving lives one transformation at a time.
At a time, my brother. And that's excellent. So Dex, thanks again. We'll keep in touch. And may
Yes,
God
sir.
richly bless you and your family, man.
Thanks for having me. Have a great night, bro.
Yes,
Keep
man.
up the great work.